Welcome once again to the review to a review of the Evolving Analyst book, and I have with me today one of the authors, Dr. Bart Jaworski, and he is a product management instructor and content creator. The title of his article in the book is Beyond the Dashboard: Why Data Still Need People in the Era of AI. It's in the data analysis section. Very fascinating article. What I like really about Dr. Bart's article is that it focuses on strengthening business analysis by improving how analysts think, how they communicate, how they influence across the organization. So welcome, Dr. Bart.
Great to be here. Great to had the article of the book, and well, I'm happy to answer all the questions.
Superb. We got a few questions for you. Let's start off with this one question. So you talk a lot about dashboards in your story. So when do you
Mhm.
think a dashboard actually becomes a liability for a data analyst or a business analyst?
I think when this dashboard is being built and polished for months and years on, and there comes a level where you just rely on it, you trust it, and the scenario where it fails for whatever reason becomes more and more unlikely.
Hmm.
However, that doesn't mean that it won't happen, and that complacency that comes with many different positions and many different setup, like Chernobyl, for example, where people got overconfident with their testing, can lead to missed, well, meltdowns, I would say. Hopefully not as critical as the one I just mentioned.
Hmm. Okay. Good, cool. Now, so we've got a report, we've got a dashboard out there. How do you help leaders move from reporting to actual insights?
It's about asking questions. It's about trying to understand the metrics you see there, getting the definition, understanding where it's coming from, and what different mm, criteria can you extract to understand it better. For example, simple monthly active users. Cool. Okay, that's a very good metric, North Star for many companies. But do we just look at MAU, or do we break it by country? Do we break it by language? Do we break it by the released version? So when we have a uh,
Rollout?
Jesus, rollout here, staged rollout, or step, no, staged rollout, we immediately capture that something is wrong. Even on the main analytics dashboard, we don't have to rely on the test dashboard, which is usually less sophisticated than the one we use to track our day-to-day business. And I would say that every leader should be able to fully train anyone in the company on the main dashboard that everyone use, so that the BAs are in at least some contact with the directors, presidents, and they have an established relation, and they make sure that everyone is looking at the very same thing.
Mhm.
And especially in Microsoft, monthly active users would mean different things across different products, different teams. And those definitions were crucial to understand each other's positions and, well, how successful different teams are. Otherwise, you'd end up in a situation where you just live in the imaginary world of presumptions, and it would have no actual basis in data, just in what other people think.
I like this, the world of presumption. Actually, that's kind of important because some people do just presume that this will happen or that will happen without actually discussing it with the stakeholders, like even important leaders, right? So I think that's
Yeah,
crucial.
and especially if something has relatively simple name that you trust, that might be the most deceiving thing in the world.
Mm, mm.
The nuance can really drown you here.
Yeah, no, I think nuance is particularly important, and there's some analysts who don't go deep enough into that nuance that we should. Yeah, true. So, what do you think? There's one question that every dashboard should answer.
That would be, are we on track with our goals? And if I may extend this answer to actually have two questions to answer. One of them is, our product running fine and we are on track for our goals, which sound like similar things that could be the same thing, but the thing is that you shouldn't bother with reaching your goal if your KTLO is failing, and you need to
Mm,
know that something is failing, because that's the fundament. If you are not able to notice that your PayPal integration broke, or you are not getting payments, or the users are not logging in, then this dashboard is useless. It's it probably should be two dashboards, to be fair, but the health check and the business direction, mm, understanding are very crucial in those matters, and in terms of understanding where you are going and whether the data that you rely on is still reliable and helpful
mm.
for that matter.
I like that idea. I've never actually thought of having those two dashboards. You've got one sort of to look at how are the dashboards in general performing, and then the actual dashboard that you're going to show the end users. That's actually that's not bad. That's I like that. That's pretty nice. Well, thanks, Dr. Bart. I really like how you emphasize it's all about collaboration. It's all about this shared understanding. I think it's crucial, and deliberate problem framing as sort of this essential to be very effective for analysis. So we need deliberate problem framing. We need a shared understanding. We need an emphasis on collaboration for that effective analysis. Thanks once again, Dr. Bart, for coming on the show and for contributing to the article. Much appreciated.
It's my pleasure. Thank you, and see you
Awesome.
next time.
See you next time. Yeah, you're more than welcome to come back anytime. Take care.